Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Oh shit. Every time I say that, I always think about fucking London Bridge by
What?
Fergie.
Oh.
Excuse you.
I thought you meant
Excuse
the
you.
London Bridge.
That's what I said. The
Right.
London. That's
Built
what
by
I said.
Fergie. Famously.
The
Right.
Fergie.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right. That was a mistake on my part. How dare I?
Speaking of mistakes, I made a critical error when I ripped that off of YouTube as a child and got the clean edit. And so for most of my life, I thought it was, oh, snap, and not, oh, shit. So I was a fucking narc for most of my life.
Yeah, everyone just thought you were like, I definitely do not have drugs and do not want them.
Yeah, I was just like, what's up, fellow youth?
Oh, snap.
Hello. And that is how, folks, you are an easy target for getting trapped into youth groups that
Yes.
you don't want to be in.
That's a one-way
Please
ticket,
learn
baby.
from my mistake.
Pick up on cues, you know?
That is how you get accidentally roped into, hey, do you want to just like come over to my place and have Oreos? And then
No.
you get trapped into fucking baby MLMs, which is Christian youth groups.
Yeah.
Folks, learn from my mistake.
The Christian youth group to MLM pipeline is so real.
Is a one-way trap.
Yeah.
Again,
Mhm.
learn from my mistake.
Right.
Folks.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Into My Mistakes.
Yes. Welcome.
That's got to be a memoir somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Could be yours, though. Could be yours. If you want it.
Yeah, I'm going to make mine Into My Mistakes the squeakquel.
Listen,
just add
if
on.
this show has taught me nothing else, it's that anyone can get a book deal.
Okay, honestly though,
So,
our thesis statement, like a fucking discussion post from college, you
Right.
can just copy paste and be like, I completely agree.
great
And that's how you
point,
get book
Brian.
deals.
Let me just add on to that real quick.
Absolutely. 100%. That is what I have learned from 4 years on this show, is that if you are a white woman
Right.
who has something vaguely sexual to
Sure.
say,
Right.
the big book
Yeah.
is like, sign her up.
Right,
We
done.
want it. We know what's going to make us money for the next 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, welcome to Into Twilight,
Welcome.
where we talk about blood and guts and gory and cryptids.
Ooh.
I mean, we don't. But
I mean, sometimes
maybe
we're
we will.
feeling freaky, you know?
Cody, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I am once again bringing a reality TV show to the space.
Color me surprised.
Listen, this is my truth. This is who I am.
It's
and
true.
I'm always trying to
Stick to your
find
brand.
new shows to me. And if they're good, I will also disperse them to the people because I'm great.
I can't wait to watch it in 4 years.
Yeah,
And
right.
tell you to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. That's our whole relationship. The show I'm bringing today is called The Apartment.
Oh, shit.
It is
okay.
a interior design reality competition show based in Malaysia, but most of the people I feel like are like Australian. It's all these like novice designers, like people just out of school, or like sometimes they're just like models or just random people that are like, I could do design perhaps. And
Sure.
they like recreate just every room in an apartment
Whoa.
in a very
Okay.
cool, but it's also like very Bravo-esque because everyone hates each other for some reason. There's just a lot of hostility.
Well, it would be boring if they liked each other.
No,
so-
absolutely. There's a lot of hostility, which is great. Most of the design choices are bad. Sometimes they're
all
really
right.
good, but a lot of times you're like, what? I brought a little visual aid into our Google Doc. I'm sure
I
you
was
can
wondering.
see. That is the creme de la creme of this show. He is the host / main judge. His name is Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Oh my god.
Which, can you just describe what this guy looks like to you in your own words?
Look, that's a great question. Giving this man is what I can only describe as giving off very strong D&D,
Yes.
like side quest energy.
Yeah.
This man feels somehow, and I didn't know that this was possible until now, but giving off blander but somehow gayer energy of Tim Curry.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That is actually incredible of placing the vibe. Personality-wise, look-wise. That's it.
Like, less chaotic,
Right.
more just like a bland, like a boring gay.
Right. Yeah. I like to describe him as like if a scary magician like stumbled into a interior design show and nobody addresses it in any perceivable way. Like he always wears very flashy suits and he's like very extravagant. He's always holding a cane at some point throughout walking around the apartment.
Yeah.
This man has maybe one of my favorite Wikipedia pages I've ever come across.
Oh, thank God.
There is a section that's literally Who Wants to Be a Millionaire controversy. That alone should sell you to pull up that Wikipedia page. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh my God. Well, now I'm like,
sorry to
very
just put you in a
interested.
trance. But
I can't keep making direct eye contact with this photograph because I do feel like I'm going to be like sucked into this photo.
it is like a painting that is following you if you move your
It
head.
does.
Yeah.
It does. I somehow also, like, in a weird way, this guy looks like what I would imagine a sibling of mine to look like. In a weird way.
Oh,
Like, I feel like I'm related to this man.
Yeah.
Or I'm I can't tell.
Yeah.
That I'll dig into that in therapy, I guess. My happy thing for this week is The Sopranos.
Mamma mia.
Because here we go again. Also, I'm always happy to talk about Mamma Mia on a bonus Jonas because holy shit.
Yeah.
The Sopranos is great, and I did not know that. I always thought that it was like gore and guts and boobs because it's on HBO or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it is that, but it's also
About therapy.
it's like mostly about therapy.
Yeah.
And nobody sells it as that.
Right.
And I genuinely just find myself when watching it just yelling Tony's name, either because I'm happy for him, but most of the time just at different levels of like, Jesus Christ, Tony. Like,
Yeah. Tony.
very similarly to how I do with Jacob throughout the years on this show,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just like, God damn it, Tony, like, be better, but I see why you're fucked up, but like, be better.
Right. Yeah.
And it is very comforting to watch a man who is like very obviously street smart
Right.
be like, no, fuck you. Keep storming out of therapy, but like keeps coming. And that's very great. And I love Italian men. They're my safe space. So
Yeah, you are valid.
very similarly to when I went to New York and I was just absolutely insufferable because I was like, these are my home.
My people.
I finally understand what it's like to have culture for once.
Yes.
It's great. We have quite a charcuterie board of current events this week.
Absolutely.
Just a weird collection,
Yeah.
some might say.
A bit of an amuse-bouche
Yeah.
of news.
The first being, we have some news. Could you take us to a Caroline corner, please?
Ooh, welcome to the space. Caroline Kepis.
We-
I still am not really sure how to pronounce your name, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask, so I will not.
It haunts me.
Right.
It haunts me daily.
Yeah. This is from Rolling Stone, who had an interview with Caroline about
My nightmare.
You Love Me, the third book in the You series that is
Great.
out.
It is out.
Great. We learned not a lot of new information here, but we did learn something about where Joe is going in his next little rendezvous of crime. And I think mine hit home a little bit to some people here in the studio.
Okay, so first of all, I could not tell you, gun to my head, what happened in this book.
Yeah.
Because all I remember is what happened in the show, and
Right.
I know that that's not how it happened in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are two things that stand out to me in this interview, and it's specifically regarding one of the questions that Brenna asks, which is, this time around, Joe moves to Washington. Did you go there to research? Did you do specific digging for your books, or do you usually like incorporate aspects of your life?
Did you pull Stephanie Meyer? Call
Yeah,
Bella
like, did you-
Italia?
Did you go to Washington? Now, immediately when I see this, like, a chill runs down my spine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh God, like, Caroline knows where I am. Caroline is my NSA agent who's in my phone.
Yeah.
She knows. She is Joe.
Right.
This is my literal nightmare. Then, and that's like the worst part, right? But then I keep reading and things get worse.
Oh God.
Which is, Caroline says, it's a mix.
Mm.
I was obsessed with Succession. So it was fun to have Joe having a conversation with people about Succession. Caroline, stop it, please. For the love of all that is holy. You cannot just keep throwing in stuff into your universe.
Just
Like,
other
it's-
media properties.
Like, at some point, can someone just, like, tell her, you can't do it? It's not allowed.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Can we get an over-under on how likely it is that Joe references Cousin Greg in this book?
Oh my God. Or, like, the boar. The boar
on
moment.
the floor.
Yeah.
He was like, I was actually very inspired by the show Succession with my cool murder. I'm like, oh, let's just host a very terrible party and to make everyone feel terrible.
And then she continues by saying, like, with this book I read about the Pacific Northwest, I deep stalked so many strangers that live there, reading their blogs and their tweets.
Oh. I
And
think you're part of that zeitgeist, baby. I think you're in there. I think you're in that mix.
I'm literally, Caroline knows where I live. Caroline knows where I'm at, where I'm talking right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Caroline literally lives across the way and is one of those fucking people that doesn't keep their blinds closed. Like,
Yeah.
if I go missing, it's Caroline. Anyways. And then this continues. You'd think, like, oh God, it's just Caroline. Like, it's not going to get worse. But it does. So she says, part of my motivation for finishing that draft was to actually get to go there. Like, guys, it's fucking Washington. Like, it's not. Anyways, like, it's great, but shut up. Anyways, going to Bainbridge Island was so helpful. After reading about the ferry, suddenly being on it. Okay, listen, all right. The ferries are great. Ferries are great. But it's a fucking ferry. Okay, here's the thing that really freaks me out. Without disclosing my actual location, I live very close to Bainbridge Island.
Mm.
And that, Caroline,
what
are you doing? That is weird, first of all. Especially because of all the things to see in Washington, Bainbridge Island
right
is, like, pretty weird.
Yeah.
Of
It's a
all
choice.
things, like, I mean, yes, you can take a ferry right from Seattle to Bainbridge Island, but it's also Bainbridge Island. Like, there's really not. There's a museum of art there. Like, it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can see Bainbridge Island from my home, and it's very weird that she is just, like, around somewhere. So anyways, Caroline, what do you want?
What's
is
up?
my question. What do you need? Why are you just around? What's up? You're freaking me out. You need to knock it off.
Leave me alone.
So apparently Joe is coming to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, so
just
lock
like
your doors.
Fucking 50 Shades, just like Twilight. They're all connected, folks. They're all just riffing off on each other always.
Yeah.
God, it's so obnoxious. Speaking of 50 Shades.
Ooh, nice
When-
segue.
Thank you. That's me. When we last talked about Erica, can't even give her the dignity of talking about E.L. James anymore.
Right.
I want to say with almost certainty that her husband leaked the news of her book coming out. I cannot say that with 100% accuracy, but I'm like pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It sounds right, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, don't fact check us.
And don't fact check us. Cinema Blend has come back and has news that updating us that E.L. James has posted on Instagram the cover of the last Christian told 50 Shades book. How does this book cover make you feel?
Awful. Is that
Tell me more.
Is that enough? It's just
No.
It looks like someone whipped this up in 3 minutes
Yes.
max.
Yep. Time to challenge. Absolutely.
It's just like a photo of a wedding ring on a hand and freed in giant gaudy letters.
Yeah, just like gunmetal.
Right, yeah. Just all
Big ass
one
font.
tone of gray. Like, it's just very, very, like, static and boring. And then there's these little paper tiny hearts coming from the bottom of the corner to add a little color. And I hate it. So, that's my take.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't understand why it looks... I mean, I do, because it's E.L. James. But it's just so phallic.
Yeah, it is quite phallic, also.
And for what?
You know for what?
I mean, I do know for what. Because it's Christian, and he doesn't want to be bound by marriage, because
Right.
it's such a fucking bond, and it's
Yeah.
such a commitment. But it's just like, shut up. This is just one of those, like, the only thing that came to my mind was like, all right, chefs, you have 2 minutes
Yeah.
in... I don't even want to give them the dignity of something like Canva or something. It's like, all right, chefs, you have 2 minutes in Microsoft Word
Right.
to put together a book cover using general photos that are pulled up, like Creative
Right.
Commons photos
Yeah, right.
and
Stock
text
images
boxes.
for hands.
Your time starts now. Like,
Yeah. That's exactly
Go.
what it is.
and if that was the case, like if it was a 5th grade student's first attempt at being able to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Right.
Love that. But
Not
this
a
is
book that will make millions of dollars.
yeah, not a book that's going to skyrocket to the top of the fake New York Times best-selling list
Right.
and stay there.
Yeah.
Erica, what? You are proud enough to put this on your Instagram where you have over 500,000 followers?
Yeah.
Erica?
Come on.
The only thing that would have made this funnier to me is that under the nail beds there was just a little bit of dirt.
Stop.
Just a
Oh,
little bit.
God. Just a little. It's like, it's fine.
Just a
No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know.
No. No, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to add a little bit of spice at the end of our current events, could you take us to a Kristen corner?
Ooh, would I ever? I
Thank
would
you.
love to. We're back at Cheat Sheet.
It's been a while,
I
if I'm
can't-
not mistaken.
I have no clue, but welcome back, Cheat Sheet. Regardless, always appreciate your stays. And
Thank
this
you for
is-
always having Twilight news, no matter the time of day,
Right.
no matter the time of year.
Yeah, we appreciate the dedication, absolutely. And this headline, Kristen Stewart was puking between every take during this iconic eclipse scene.
Yeah, so questions. Just a couple.
Just post some questions for the class here.
Yeah, just a few. Yarding's not great.
No.
But, actors, they're so dedicated to their craft.
Right. Especially K2. Committed.
Yeah. Actors, they don't joke around.
Right.
It's like a big deal.
Yeah.
So the tent scene.
Yes. Yeah.
The one that I know so many people were so jealous of.
Right. It's like, what a dream.
Right. Just to be between them two big boys.
Yes. Just a little sandwich.
Kristen had the flu.
Oh, man.
And so Taylor Lautner was taking care of her as she was getting sick between scenes. It definitely wasn't from the like chauvinistic tendencies. It was definitely just from the flu.
Right.
It happens to the best of us.
It seemed very cold there, so like I get it.
Right. Yeah, it definitely wasn't on like a studio set.
Right.
That was real wind shaking that tent. Go Yarts, girl,
Yeah, do your thing.
Legend has it she's still Yartsing today,
Whoa.
We did not get so much as like a correction from last week, so much as we just got a yes and email.
Okay.
From last week. We got an email that did not include the person's name, so I will not say it. Just in case, I don't know, they're hiding from Caroline like I am.
Yeah.
So it says, wait, I'm listening to this week's podcast with your eulogy to Yahoo Answers, and I can't believe you didn't talk about this absolute classic because it was made for your space. Thanks, you guys are the best. Great, bye.
All right, drag me.
So, could you do me the favor of reading this Yahoo answer?
Yes.
For me, please and thank you.
Here we go. Did my boyfriend turn into a vampire? Okay. So I have a new boyfriend. Yay. And we have been seeing each other for about a month now. Anyway, the other night we had a Twilight marathon. I love Twilight. And a dream of mine is to have a vampire boyfriend. I've been experimenting with eating my own blood ever since the Twilight books first came out. I consider myself to be a vampire now. I used to just save the blood I lose naturally each month. Oh, God. I did not read ahead. I decided that I would try and turn my new boyfriend. So I've been cooking my blood into his food when he comes over. I tried making blood pudding as well. But that only works if I've had a heavy blood. You need a lot of blood. Naturally, you need a lot of blood for this situation to work. So you gotta stack up. So you just add a little bit of blood into the marinade of pasta sauce.
Oh my God.
Etc., etc. He absolutely has no idea. I've been doing this for about 3 to 4 weeks. Do you think he could be a vampire by now?
So here's my question for you, Cody.
Yeah.
Did they turn their boyfriend into a vampire?
Why do I have to answer this? I don't know. We had this whole conversation about how having a soundboard would be the end of this podcast, and you said noted, and just tried to MacGyver one anyway.
This is the scariest question I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, this is like Phantom Thread vibes. It's like, what if I just poisoned my boyfriend into turning into a vampire? Wink, wink.
First of all, what? Second of all, why?
Right. Also, like, from my understanding of vampires, you don't become a vampire solely from ingesting blood.
Yes.
That's not the thing that turns you. That is a result of being a vampire. It's also part of the process, but it's not like, oh, I ate a lot of my own blood for however long, and now I'm a vampire.
It almost sounds like this person accidentally gave their boyfriend a tolerance to it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like,
you really
they
built
did
up
the
an
opposite.
immune system. Yeah.
Like, oh, did I accidentally make my boyfriend give them an immunity to becoming a vampire?
Right. That
through
seems like
microdosing.
Yes. Yeah.
Which,
right.
yes.
Yes. That would be correct. Yeah. Oh, God.
Some of these, I really hope, for humanity's sake, are fake.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck? Like, but then I go outside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, maybe not.
Right.
So I don't know. But this is the scariest thing I've ever read.
It's
and
terrifying.
we've read some scary stuff here.
Yes.
And also, in life. So
Right.
I hate it.
Yeah, thank
Is
you
the
though
answer.
for sharing.
Thank
And maybe
you, but
Yahoo Answers deserve to die. Maybe
I
maybe I'm
think-
turning around.
Yeah, I feel like more than anything, that was a great reminder of like maybe the internet shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Actually.
Maybe this was all a mistake. You know?
Yeah, maybe God shouldn't be one of us, actually.
No, he's definitely not with us currently, right now. Based on what
Yeah.
we just did, no way. He has left us.
Yeah, no. Ooh. We have gotten some feedback based on our last week's episode that has reminded me that rather than just yelling at you all, we should probably just like give some sort of survey
Yeah.
or form of some kind
Mm-hmm.
of like, hey, what do you all want us to read next?
Yeah.
So expect that soon,
Mm-hmm.
especially as we are getting fucking slowly getting towards the end of the host.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We've gotten some folks who are like, maybe A Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fucking way to say that faster? Because I'm gonna
I
trip over.
believe the acronym is ACOTAR.
Oh
which
my god,
is
that's
worse.
worse.
It's worse, but it is faster.
I've also heard something about a discovery of witches,
Uh-huh.
which sounds like a history series. Sounds like
Sure.
something on the History Channel.
Okay.
So I just expect a form soon, is what
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
That way you can air your grievances, you can
Yeah.
throw your figurative tomatoes and
Put us off the stage.
and be done with it.
Yeah.
I thought that was fake. Like, I remember watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame and being like, they couldn't have actually done that, right?
Right.
Like, who had
Yeah.
that much fresh produce back then to be like, yeah, we're gonna waste it, though.
Right. Yeah. It seems like something you should hold on to, you know?
There wasn't anyone who was like, no, Gregor, like, we need that.
We need
can't-
that. People need to eat.
We're gonna get scurvy again if
Right.
we don't eat those tomatoes. We can't
Someone's
do
got to
that.
clean this up.
Right,
It's now all on the floor.
I know that, like, we just throw trash in the street right now. But, like, don't you think at some point, like, the Black Death is gonna happen?
Right.
Again? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, when we last read The Host, things were not going great for Wanda.
Yeah.
As usual. Lots of Ian touching.
Yeah.
Lots of Melanie not being happy. Lots of random talk with Jamie about jerky.
Right.
Lots of weird shit going on.
Yeah.
When we are starting on chapter 39 this week, we get a nice little time jump.
Ooh.
It's been a while at this point since we have last heard from folks.
Mm-hmm.
And now, even though it seemed impossible, Wanda has now learned sarcasm. Like,
Wanda's picking up things very in a fun way.
somehow this human who, like, didn't understand interactions between siblings
Right.
a couple weeks ago
Now picks up on very specific human traits.
is now, like, a master at sarcasm
Right.
somehow. But sure. Okay, great. Whatever. It's going to make reading this a lot easier, so that's good. It's been a month since the last chapter, so things have been, for the most part, going pretty well. I've just been, like, chilling in the new bedroom.
Yeah.
Things are, like, sort of good.
Yeah.
Except for the past week,
Mm-hmm.
because Jared went out on a raid to get some new tools, and Jamie went with him. And so now, all of a sudden, Wanda's like, what if I just learn sarcasm? What if
Yeah.
I just make this place a hellhole for everyone else, finally?
Yeah.
Which, you know what? They deserve it. So it's great.
Listen, we've all had our own instances of trying new things. You know, we're all
That's true.
getting hobbies, we're trying out new stuff, we're doing new things. I get it.
Yes. And so effectively Wanda has just been pouting for the past week.
Yeah.
And is like, listen, if I'm gonna have to suffer, all of you are too.
Yes.
I'm gonna do my job, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. And fuck you all. And so finally, Ian is like, all right, it's been a week now. I've been letting you sit here and suffer in your silence. But at this point, it's not going to help anyone if you are just moping.
Yeah.
So, what if you come down and help me out with something?
Yeah.
So finally, Wanda goes and follows Ian to help him with something. Because it is Wanda, they are duped into playing a 2-on-2 soccer game.
Yeah.
Because you know what we need right now is more sports in this fucking book.
Right.
It's what we need. We need more sports.
It's what Stephanie is so good at, you know? Communicating, writing, fleshing out, making it feel very authentic.
Especially with soccer.
Right.
What? It's just weird. Anyways, it turns out Melanie is really good at soccer.
Yeah, everyone's like, Wanda's just been on the sidelines this whole time, and the second Wanda's actually allowed to play soccer because they're all like, you sit on the bench, you're terribly injured, or you can't do this, whatever. The second they're doing it, they're like, whoa, Wanda's actually kind of like a god at soccer.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's pretty sick, though.
It's pretty great. So there's a 2-on-2. Obviously, Wanda's like killing it. It's going great. And then because Wes and Lily are down there, 2 random people, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only thing that is important is that like they're smooching, and that's brand new news. So great. And then there is now a 1-on-1 game that's happening between Ian and Wanda. And Ian is like intentionally going easy on Wanda, which Melanie hates. It is like nothing apparently pisses off Melanie more than when someone is like not doing their best. Whatever. There's lots of just like good sports talk. Lots of just like good sweating and sports.
Let's get dirty. Let's get fun.
Lots of just like teasing about masculinity and like, why aren't you doing this? You're playing like a girl. All this bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ian ends up winning. Doesn't really matter because he made this like, Wanda was like, if you win, I'll stay over in your room. And he wins, but it doesn't matter because fucking Jared and Jamie are back. So like it's all for nothing.
Nothing. So got him.
Ian was like super excited about winning, and then it was all for nothing. So it doesn't matter. When they end up going back to the plaza, that's when Wanda was like, oh, cool, they're back. Bye. And then just like a cartoon is just like dust is left.
Yeah, just like a smoke cloud.
Yes.
Like, what happened?
I was like so excited and you're gone. Jamie, we find out when Wanda comes back to the plaza, is hurt, but like just a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like hurt, but he did a goof him. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's more so like his ego is more so damaged than anything else.
Right.
He tripped on a knife. Like he's like obviously it sounds like it hurts, but he's like fine.
Yeah,
like
it's okay. We can all relax.
Yeah. It's gonna probably take a couple days to heal, but he's doing okay.
Yeah.
They go back. He's resting. He's like fine for the most part. He's just embarrassed. Realizing though that like Melanie and Wanda picked up pretty quickly that everyone is back, but they can't find Jared. There's some like spidey senses going on of like, something's wrong.
Interesting.
And Melanie is realizing something like there needs to be some sort of distraction and some sort of like lie in order to get out, but that's going to be difficult because most people would think like, oh, you should stay with Jamie and take care of him. So there is a Wanda's like, hey, Ian, go get food.
Yeah.
And once they are alone, Wander's like, hey, Jamie, you good?
Right.
Jamie's like, yeah, I'm good. Shut up. I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And immediately Wander's like, okay, cool, bye. And then-
That's all I need to hear. Cool.
Great. Got a blast.
Yeah.
And then just dips out. Because there is something wrong, and they know something's wrong, but they cannot figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Other than just, like, as they are trying to head back to the, like, medical wing, just, like, don't be suspicious about it. Mainly because, like, Wander is a shit liar.
Yeah, not really good. Doesn't have a great poker face.
But, like, understand sarcasm now. Hello?
I can't keep up.
I cannot either. So chapter 40 is here now. Things get dark fast.
Yeah.
Wander is like hiding outside the medical wing. There's a lot of crying going on. There's just a lot of like quiet sobbing.
Yeah.
Jeb is there and he's like trying to reassure Doc, who is doing the quiet sobbing. We love a medical professional who's doing a quiet sob.
It's so true.
Shonda
Stephanie
is shaking in her boots.
Right.
Yeah, both Shonda and Stephanie are like, oh my god, that's my fucking shit.
Can I get more of that, please?
Exactly.
Put it on everything.
There's also Kyle and Jared are there, and
Yeah.
it was unclear to me if they were both on one of the stretchers or if they were just nearby.
They're close, for sure.
Yes. The difficulty is that when Wander starts to get like closer and start peeking in to the hospital wing, that is when there is this smell. If we know anything about Stephanie, she loves describing the smell of blood.
Yeah.
And listen, I get it because I also don't agree with the smell of blood.
Sure.
I don't
is
like it
not
either.
great. No.
But she loves describing it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Stephanie believes she is the only person that can smell blood.
Right, yeah. Yeah, she writes in a way where she's like, why is nobody else writing about it like this? Like, does nobody else get it? Am I a vampire? Am I special? You know?
Literally.
It's like a love letter to blood every time she writes about it.
It's so obnoxious.
It's wild.
And it's like, no, Stephanie, it's just... no, it's just metallic. Like,
yeah,
that's
it's just irony. That's it. We all smell that. You know what it smells like?
No, that's just normal, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop literally romanticizing blood.
God.
You fucking weirdo. Stephanie, I don't know how to tell you, but you fucking changed people. They started romanticizing blood because you did it.
Yeah.
Stephanie?
The cultural reset.
God. Anyways, there's like a page of this. I've heard romanticizing blood. And I had to read it very quickly because it started to make me nauseous.
Yeah.
And then Wander just screams because of the fact that not just is it the smell, there's people on the cots, but like that's not the part that Wander cares about.
Yeah.
So much as it's just like on the table are the actual like silver souls or are like Wander's people, really.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I don't know if this is something that like the humans can see, but Wander says that like the whole room has like silver on it as well. Like it's like stained silver.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine that the humans can't see that because that would be really disorienting, I'd imagine.
Right.
But Wander just starts screaming. From never seeing this before, I would imagine. And so all of the men in there are like, oh God, this person's hysterical. They aren't sure what to do for Wander, so they slap Wanda. Like, just try to... They don't know what to do.
Hey, is this thing on?
Just try to fucking hit the reset button, I guess.
Yeah.
And it,
do we like shake it? Do we blow on it? Like,
I don't know.
How does this work?
Um,
do we shake it?
just like, is Wanda just like a fucking bop it, twist it, like,
Right.
what do we do? It is very disorienting because Wanda is also like, when the screaming stops, just also starts yelling like, y'all are fucked up, like, get away from me. And then just finally like passes out.
Yeah.
Because when Stephanie doesn't know what to do with a character, passing out is usually the safest option. So, pretty fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when the next thing that happens with Wanda when consciousness comes back is, of course, Jared and Ian are here. And these two have no idea what to do.
No.
As usual. These
Yeah.
two are fucking incompetent.
Yeah. Clueless.
As usual. Like, these
Yeah.
two are the worst possible people to be around when having a traumatic moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Not helpful in any conceivable way. Not
Literally
supportive. There's no, honestly, you're better off with anyone or being alone. Like,
The only thing I could possibly describe this as is, like, these two are, like, this situation is what I would imagine is, like, two men with, like, one of those, what do they have in, like, 90s movies? Like, those robot babies from, like, home ec classes. It's like they have no idea how to take care of anything.
right.
Like, that is what this moment feels like to me. Is like, it is, like, alien to them, literally, how to, like, take care of another being.
Right.
And so when Wander has the words and is like, no, like, let me down, like, let me go,
Yeah.
don't touch me. And they're like, I don't know what Wander's saying right now. Like, what could possibly be going on? And finally just, like, runs away. The only other person who is, like, trying to intervene at this time is Melanie.
Yeah.
Which, of course, this is the time where Stephanie is like, ah, yes, I got it.
Right.
I know what could happen in this moment.
Mm.
And so fucking Wander is like, you know what? Get out of my head. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And-
Sorry.
You know what? This is my head now. And just decides to, like, the thing that alien species has been saying this whole time, which is just like, no, just, like, silence Melanie. That
Right.
Wander hasn't been able to do this whole time,
Yeah.
finally is able to, now that Wander is grieving.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Whoa. Who could have possibly seen it coming?
Bum, bum, bum.
So now, alone, finally, in one of the, like, dark caverns,
Yeah.
Wander is, like, finally able to grieve.
Right.
And has never done this before with their species, and so decides to do it like the bats do. The bats, Stephanie,
Come on.
fucking onto you.
Come on, Steph.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Anyways, the bats...
It's all connected.
It is. It's all... There's a red string, I'm telling you all. Anyways, the bats mourn in silence. Wander just, like, wraps themselves up and mourns for the two souls that were on Doc's table, one of which was a child and the other one they weren't sure of.
Right.
And just stays there in silence, like the bats do.
Damn.
It's fucking sad.
Yeah,
Like,
it is quite sad. Yeah.
It's horrifying and painful,
Right.
and Wander stays there for hours, even though all of the folks are there, like, using their flashlights and, like, trying to find
Mm-hmm.
Wander, and not even using just, like, I think it's, like, the blue lights, but, like, they're
Right.
using the big flashlights.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
spotlights, little bat signal situation going out. Like, where is
Yeah.
Wanderer?
And so even though Jared comes over, Wander doesn't speak. And Jared and Ian get into a fight, and Jared's like, when I tried, Wander didn't do anything, so why do you think that it's going to matter with you?
Yeah.
Ian ends up coming over and turns the light off, and at the end of the chapter, Ian just sits with Wander. And that's where it ends.
There it is.
Not the book, the chapter.
Yeah, right.
That would
Could you
be
imagine?
wild.
You know what's fucked up? When I paused my audiobook after I finished these week's chapters, I looked at it and I was like, oh, we only have like 7 hours left. That's pretty good. And that sunk in. That was like, oh, we've been reading this for so long.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, we're here. We're chugging
Just like
along.
a whole other book.
I'm in my stage of disillusionment right now. It's like, oh, we're basically over. It's basically the end.
7 hours, which is like another person's book.
Right? Yeah. No sweat.
I have a pretty good feeling just because we've read so much of Stephanie at this point, like where this book is going to go.
Yeah.
What I hope personally is that Wander just kills everyone.
Yeah.
And that's
Honestly,
not going to happen, but
it's
I hope
what they
so.
deserve, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From what these 2 chapters have said, which is that Jared has been bringing in these bodies for Doc to, like, dissect, fuck them all.
Yeah.
Fuck them all. Absolutely not. Like, are you kidding me? No. No, absolutely not. Wanda can do whatever at this point. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, that's not how Stephanie's going to do it, because Stephanie's not like that, but whatever. I don't give a shit anymore.
We can still dream,
Absolutely. Next week, though, we have chapters 41 and 42.
Boing, boing, boing.
We have a great list of patrons to thank. Would you like to start?
Absolutely. Thank you to Mallory Hardwick.
Pew, pew,
Boing, boing,
pew.
boing.
Thank you to Katie Black.
Boing, 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 boing. Thank you, Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Boing, boing, boing. Shout out Carrie Goldberg.
Thank you to Mickey Meyer.
Boing, boing, boing. Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Thank you to Mulch Gray.
Mulch. Shout out Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Woo. Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Boing, boing, boing. Shout out Bailey Christian. Boing, boing.
Thank you to Jay Molina.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Thank you to Toussaint Wander.
Woo.
Ooh.
Ah. Shout out Kristen Strider.
Thank you to Julia Stewart.
Ooh. 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 Thank you to Maddie Facinelli. Facinelli?
Yes.
Yes. We love to see it. Ooh.
Thank you to my mom, your mom, our mom, Kelly
Everyone's
Back.
mom. Boy, 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 boy. Shout out Sophia Salinger.
Thank you to India Peach.
Boy, 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 boy. Thank you to Casey Yorkie.
Thank you to Sarah Blythe.
Ooh, yeah. And last but not least, thank you to Lara Forty.
All right. I have another fan fiction for you.
Yes.
This is a fan fiction that was sent in to us by our unofficial intern, Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Nice.
This, Taylor, I'm talking directly to you right now, is another Twilight and Victorious crossover. Now, I did a little bit of research this time, and I found out that Victorious, this is my bad, because I have a smooth brain. This is the one that I found out has Victoria Justice in it.
Yes.
And is the one that apparently, and I knew this, but I did not realize it, that Ariana Grande was in. And I did not know that before.
Famously.
Famously. So that's great. Did not know that before, but that makes a lot more sense. I did not watch it, but now I know which show this is.
Yeah.
This was written by Drop the Bass 97.
Nice.
It is titled Surf.
Hell yeah.
This was published, holy shit, on September 2nd, 2012.
Ooh.
The summary for this is Tori uses surfing for an outlet. But what happens when she meets the Wolfgang Surfers from Forks, Washington?
Nice.
Will her hobby turn into her future career? Will Jade warm up to her some? Will Leah talk her into surfing with the boys?
Ooh.
I have no idea who Tori or Jade are, but that's great. That sounds great. Okay, here is my little bit for you from chapter 2.
Thank you.
Okay. I grabbed my surfboard off of my car and made my way towards the ocean. Today is the last day I can surf in peace. I ran into the ocean, and as soon as I was deep enough, I sat on my board to wait for a wave. I waited for about 5 minutes before a huge, monstrous wave appeared. I quickly got into position and began weaving through the waves. I finally washed up on shore, and I felt great. I collapsed onto the sand and began laughing like a lunatic. I closed my eyes, enjoying the sun washing over me. After about 3 minutes, a shadow cast over me. I opened my eyes to see a huge Native American man standing over me. I shrieked and scrambled up on my feet. He held up his hands in surrender. "Who are you?" I asked him. "My name's Jacob Black, and I wanted to ask you if you were in a surf team," he said. No, it's just a hobby." "Well, that's some type of hobby you've got there. What's your name?" "Oh, sorry. Tori Vega. Nice to meet you." "Believe me, the pleasure is all mine." I haven't seen anyone ride a wave like that since the competition in Venezuela. Jacob, what are you, who taught you to ride? End scene.
Wow. I love that.
What a rich history this person's weaving.
Really expanding the lore, you know?
Jacob, what are you doing in Venezuela?
You know, one of Jacob's famous spots that he always goes to.
Yeah, when he's surfing. Jacob, what are you...
Listen, you can't get good waves of La Push, baby. You gotta go to Venezuela. You gotta get the right waves of Venezuela.
Right, yeah, of course.
Obviously. Come on.
Him with all of his cash money.
Right.
Baby.
Yeah, I know.
Jacob? Oh my god. Anyways, thank you, Taylor. I'm gonna need more fan fiction soon, so send those over to me. Or literally anyone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always in need of good.
Listen, if anyone wants to come for Taylor Brown's crown, you're allowed to. You can challenge.
Just because it rhymes with her name does not mean that the crown can be hers.
She just hasn't had a worthy opponent yet, but maybe we can get
agree.
Interesting here, all right?
Absolutely. I'm always down to start rivalries.
Yeah, in fighting.
Anyways, if I go missing, it's Caroline's fault.
Yep, Joe Goldberg got her. Sorry.
Yep. I am in a glass box of Joe's creation, so you will know whose fault it is.
Yeah.
As we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit
and get whipped.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. Our theme music is by Eli Krause, and our artwork is by Maddie Padilla. Follow the show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, and support us on Patreon at patreon.com/intothetwilight. Send us an email or a fanfiction at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can find Allie at Into Wild Places and me at Cody Crow.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.